Good morning, sixth grade. This is the video for Wednesday, March 1st. Today, you guys are going to be continuing work in your grammar packets. Yesterday, you went back and reviewed and did some activities about adverbs and adjectives. And today, you're going to go back and review the two lessons on prepositional phrases. So, as you're working in your packets to complete the pages for today's assignment, you can also go back and look at pages 243, 244, 245, and 246 that you did 2 weeks ago. And the activities that you're going to be doing today are directly tied to those activities. So hopefully your own work that you've already done can be a review for you. And remember, as you're working with all of the things that you're doing in this chapter, what you're really interested in understanding or knowing, the question that keeps being asked is, what is each word's job in a sentence? So when you come to a sentence, I want you to be able to look at it and say, well, this is the adjective, and it's telling me more about this word. Or this is the noun, and this is what the sentence is all about. Or this is the prepositional phrase, and it's telling me about the relationship between this noun and this verb. So as you're reading your sentences and you're looking, always be thinking about what is the relationship between the words and what is the job of each word in the sentence. And that's the goal of all of this, is to sort of help you understand the work that the words are doing. And ultimately, that's going to make you a better writer and speaker because you're going to use powerful words to communicate your ideas when you understand better the way that words work. You're also going to be continuing on today in spelling. We're on list 27 this week, and today is the third page. So you'll start out with proofreading this letter that's right above the picture of the delicious looking barbecued chicken. And then on the bottom of the page, there's a word study section where you're going to be needing to complete some sentences with your spelling words. And then finally today, you're going to be reading what I think is a really interesting article about the Underground Railroad. And that was alluded to in the story you read yesterday called The Room. Today's story is called Secrets in the Walls. And in Secrets in the Walls is not a narrative story, but rather it's a nonfiction article that's going to teach you a little bit more about the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad is kind of a funny name because it was not an actual railroad in the sense that people were not riding around on trains. And it was only sometimes underground, literally, like tunnels that went under the ground. The Underground Railroad was a route and a connection group of people who worked together out of the spotlight of public life in order to help slaves get north for freedom during a time when slaves who lived in the South were not free and had to belong to other people, didn't have control over their lives. And so they called it underground because part of it was in hidden rooms and underneath the ground, but also because it was something that people just talked about and kept beneath the surface. It wasn't out in broad daylight. And it had to be that way because it was against the law, some of the things that they were doing. And then it was called a railroad because it was devised as a series of routes that people figured out that you could take to get from one place to another with conductors, and modeled kind of like an actual railroad, but rather than being made out of metal and machines, it was made out of people and their ideas and then routes to travel up through the United States. So as you read today, there's 3 vocabulary words which may or may not be familiar to you. The first is fugitive. So a fugitive is someone who is running from the law, or someone who is wanted for something that they've done against the law and being sought by police or other law enforcement. The second word is boarded, as in my parents boarded an international student for a while in our home. And boarded means that you offer housing to, or you take care of, keep someone in your home. And then the third is register. And you might know this, like your parents stand in line to register you for soccer tryouts or whatever. And so in this article, they're going to talk about people registering, which is just a way of officially marking their presence for the government or for another unit. So as you read this, I hope you'll enjoy. There's some pages for you to follow up in your work text. If you have any questions or you want to chat more, do feel free to email me, lsmallwood@mylegacyschool.com. And hopefully this video is for Wednesday, but I'm actually filming it on Tuesday. So hopefully by tomorrow, Wednesday, we will all be on to Google Classroom. I'm going to spend the rest of my time here at work today getting that set up. So you should be getting an email from me if you haven't already. And I'll look forward to joining you guys over there and having some conversations together. All right, take care.